This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yeah, we'll just edit that part right out. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast on the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta. Of course, you got Connor Thomas for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast, and you got me for your postcast this Phillies season right here. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Just a rough one for the Phils, a dud of a game, and I'm not going to do what some people think I'm going to do, which is just freak out, man, after just one loss to the season. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. Phillies bats just couldn't come up with the big hit today. It was extremely frustrating, especially, and I see some people in the chat right out of the gate talking about Bryce Harper just missing a couple, Kyle Schwarber just missing a couple. For me, the guy that really struggled with just missing a couple, just being under a couple of pitches, that was Alec Bohm for the Phillies today. There were a number of instances he came up where it looked like he hit the ball on the screws from the pitcher's perspective, looking from over the pitcher's shoulder there on the TV. And then it was just a long fly ball to deep center field that just died at the warning track, just under it a little bit. Or he gets that situation that to me was the biggest at-bat of the game, or at least it could have been, when you have the Phillies with the bases loaded and Alec Bohm coming up to the plate. Kyle Schwarber gets hit by the pitch. There's a couple of pitches thrown outside the zone by Ferrer it was, and then Schwarber takes a base, Bohm comes up, and normally when a pitcher's looking a little erratic, I'm saying take the first pitch, just take the first pitch. That's the only time I'll get really upset about a player swinging at a first pitch, when the pitcher throws 3 of the 5 pitches that he threw out of the strike zone, including hitting a guy. So Bohm steps up. Now here's why I didn't have a problem with him swinging at the first pitch in this situation. One, he's better when he's aggressive. So that's Alec Bohm. That's who he is. 2, he guessed right. He just missed. He was looking to jump on a first pitch sinker. First pitch two-seamer. He jumped on it, grounded out to third base, and that was that to start the double play, unfortunately. And that is what got the Nationals out of that jam. But all in all, the bats just didn't have it today when it came to the clutch hits. And Aaron Nola, again, the middle innings when they get to Aaron Nola. Now, I looked it up. It wasn't even the 4th inning that was his worst inning last year, Aaron Nola. It was the 5th inning where he gave up the most runs, at least going by his ERA. But in the 4th inning, that's when they really got to him, including Bell coming up with a 3-run home run to make it a 3-0 Nationals game. And not for nothing, that's where you felt like the bats just weren't going to have it. And it felt like Nola, of course, wasn't going to have it. Ended up giving up 2 more runs a little bit later in the game. And it was to say the least, a rough one. And I think the way you could sum it up the best was a dud of a game. As to why it was a dud of a game, well, it comes down to one simple thing, unfortunately.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
He wasn't even that great. He got out of jams. Fine. Mitchell Parker, you're the player of the game. I hate to go outside of, our team. I hate to go outside of the Phillies here, but there's nobody in the Phillies that jumped out to me that really had an incredible day. Hey, Edmundo Sosa had 2 hits, took second on an error there in right field. That was great. But other than that, nobody on the Phillies really jumped out as a guy that should have gotten player of the game. Like, literally, everyone was tied for a distant 5th today is what it felt like. But Mitchell Parker goes out there, gives you 6 1/3, 7 hits surrendered, but always got the punch out that he needed. 93 pitches, 5 strikeouts of your Philadelphia Phillies. So sometimes, yes, as much as I hate to do it, you tip your cap to the opponent. So right there, I'm going to tip my cap to the opponent and just say that they were the better team today. Now, that doesn't mean that this was some flawless performance by the Phillies and they just got beat by a better baseball team or a better pitcher. No. There were instances today where I thought the Phillies could have made better decisions. You could question whether or not you want Alec Bohm swinging at that pitch. You could question whether or not Kyle Schwarber went down a little too easy there in the 9th inning with that 1, 2, 3, 3 strikes, see you later. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, see you later there in the 9th inning. You could question whether or not, and this is a big question for me. For the life of me, I don't know what Rob Thompson was thinking in the 5th inning. You already had Aaron Nola on the ropes a little bit. I don't understand the line of thinking there, going into the 6th inning. In the fourth, he gave up the 3-run home run to Bell. In the sixth inning, I'll put it to you like this. I was a little surprised that Rob Thompson brought Aaron Nola back out for the sixth inning. All right. The bats weren't getting anything going. He showed a little bit of fatigue already. He had that fourth inning. Fifth inning, he got 1, 2, 3. All right, fine. I think it was around 83 pitches at that point, 85 pitches. Sixth inning, surprised that he came out. Not shocked, surprised. Okay? I thought that was interesting. That's what I did when I saw Nola was coming on the mound there in the sixth inning. So then Garcia comes up there, hits a ball to the warning track in center field that Johan Rojas flags down. It was a 10-pitch at bat. The fact that they let him face Ruiz, interesting. Ruiz gets a single. Now, this is the part I was shocked. You have a 10-pitch at bat that was damn near a home run. Then he gives up a single that he hits on the screws, a changeup that Ruiz times perfectly. And then you let him face Lowe. That, to me, was shocking. Now, is it why the Phillies lost the game tonight? No, it's not why the Phillies lost the game tonight. But in terms of things they could have done different, it wasn't revisionist history to me. Like I said, sixth inning, I was like, oh, Noel's coming back out. A little surprising, but okay. Then after the 10-pitch at bat, giving up a single, he's still pitching. Oh, that's interesting. And I was shocked then. They let him face Lowe, and Lowe took him deep for the 2-run home run in the inning to make it a 5-0 Nationals advantage. After that, they brought in Ruiz finally. So could you have spared the Phillies maybe 2 more runs? Possibly. But I thought that was an interesting situation for Rob Thompson to have him face Lowe in that situation. But they decided to go with it, and it didn't work out. But again, the bats to me today are what was the most frustrating thing about it. And when you talk about what was the difference in this game, there was a number of instances I thought you could have laid out there when it came to the bats not coming up in the clutch, more so than when it came to Aaron Nola's performance. But all in all, if there was one moment where I felt like the Phillies were going to lose, this was
Time
it.
to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Really, it came down to the 7th inning. I mean, I could tell you that on that Bell home run is where that kind of took the air out of the balloon, but Nola bounced back in the 5th inning, 1, 2, 3 inning, felt better then, and then the 6th, well, everything I just told you. But the 7th inning to me, with this Phillies lineup, one thing I always try to keep in the back of my mind, like I don't like it when people say, oh, 3rd inning, you just knew they didn't have it. At any given moment, this Phillies team could just start putting up runs. Whether it was even last year, this year, year before, whatever. Any minute with this lineup, all of a sudden 6 runs could go on the board. That's not unfathomable to think, okay? So in that 7th inning, I thought the Phillies were having some luck on their side, but this is really where it ended for the Phils. Brandon Marsh led it off, got that seeing eye single, that ground ball with eyes up the middle. Johan Rojas flies out to left field. Marchan comes up there and gets a single to center. You have 1st and 2nd with 1 out. They go to the bullpen then. Farrer comes in. This brings you up against Kyle Schwarber, who takes those 3 pitches inside. The 3rd one ended up hitting him on the hand. He takes his base. You got the bases loaded with 1 out. Alec Bohm comes up to the plate, and like we just evaluated, I don't know where you're at on this. Do you want him to take that first pitch, or do you want him to be aggressive? It seemed like throughout the day, again, the Phillies mentality, the Phillies strategy in this game was to be aggressive. Bohm in the 7th inning, he's aggressive again, gets the pitch he's looking for, a cookie out over the middle of the plate, and grounds to the net, 5-4-3 double play. That's what got out of that inning. That's what got Farrer out of that inning. That's what kept it a 5-0 Nationals advantage. At that point, I thought that was not only the turning point, but the slam the door in the Phillies' face as far as coming home with some brooms in their hands before they start, well, their first home series of the season, having their home opener tomorrow at 3:05. But that was really more so than the turning point, the slamming of the door. Matt Strahm came in the 7th inning there for the Phils, was able to get out of that unscathed as far as any runs were concerned, gave up the double to Young. Sosa stayed into the game after it looked like he got inadvertently spiked. He would have been safe anyway. Kruk got to this late in his breakdown, but the first thing I thought was Sosa's blocking the bag. And, a couple of years ago, that was just a good play, and now it's illegal. But Sosa had his leg in front of the bag. He ends up getting spiked. No intention there. But Strahm ends up getting out of that inning with a nice slider, especially. He caught Wood looking, and then he was able to get Garcia to pop out to Alec Bohm at 3rd base. Then 8th inning, Phillies couldn't get anything going. A couple of hard hit balls, but that was that. And then in the 9th inning, Phillies again get another opportunity here and couldn't cash in. And Mundo Sosa starting off with that single, then reaching base on that error in right, so he gets to second. Marsh gets a walk. Clemens has a great at-bat, 7 pitches. He works a walk. Again, you get the bases loaded. This time, Marchan unfortunately ends up grounding to second base. Run scores on it, your only run of the ball game, and then Kyle Schwarber goes down on those 3 pitches we talked about, flailing at a splitter, and Alec Boehm goes down again, hitting the ball on the screws, like his first 2 at-bats, and then lines out to second base. And that was that. When it comes to this Phillies game, you're going to have duds in 162 games. That doesn't mean we got to like them, but that's just kind of the way baseball plays out. As I said yesterday in our short that we circulated, if you would have told me you got 18 runs, now 19 runs in your first 3 games, whatever, 18 runs in your first 2, you win your first series of the season, albeit on the road. I wanted blood just like anybody else. I wanted the Phillies to break out the brooms and sweep the Nationals, out, and then come to Philly and handle the Rockies. We can't have everything. As far as Nola, the concern with Aaron Nola, here's where I'm at with him. Yeah, they got to him in the 4th inning. That has been a thing with Nola where he looks like he is just unhittable for 3 innings, and then they get to him in the 4th or the 5th. There were definitely it felt abrupt for Nola, I'll say that. The first 3 innings, the knuckle curve was looking spectacular, and I was joking with somebody on social media where I said his knuckle curve looked like it was in mid-season form, and somebody said, I don't know if that's a good thing. And I said, well, it's mid-season form is good. Mid-game form is bad. And wouldn't you know it, 4th inning, 5th inning, 6th inning, that's where they got to Nola. But the knuckle curve looked great out of the start. Velocity is never going to be a big thing for Aaron Nola, and if he's getting great run on his fastball, on his 2-seamer, his sinker, that's where you know he's really getting sharp. And he had that in the first 3 innings, and I don't know where it went. It just disappeared. As Ryan Howard used to say through cold spells, you have it and then it's gone. Where does it go? Well, where does it go for Aaron Nola when that happens? When we come back, we'll break down Alec Boehm's performance again today with his really all of his at-bats, especially just being a day where he was just missing. If I had to say, baseball, we always talk about football. Football is a game of inches. Baseball is a game of centimeters, fractions of centimeters. Alec Boehm, a fraction of a centimeter off in any way, or more on in any way. You could have a 3-homer day for him. We'll get to that when we return. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and a Locked On Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Back after this. Let's not forget about FanDuel. Hopefully you guys taking advantage all throughout March Madness with FanDuel. FanDuel giving you a chance to get in on all the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet when it hits. You win your first $5 bet. That's 200 extra bucks, 200 extra bonus bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters and so much more, including who's cutting down the nets. Picking my favorites. I got my favorites. You play your favorites. I play mine. I've got my eye on a few underdogs throughout the these. I was hoping for some Cinderella stories. Didn't get any of those, unfortunately. But on FanDuel, you can make it easy as possible to get in all the action when you talk about point spreads, totals, and game props as well, even parlays. You can stay in on the action all tournament long as well when you're talking about who could be bringing home that trophy and, again, cutting down those nets. FanDuel is the app that is simple to use, and when I win, you get paid instantly. How about that? No waiting around. That's one of the things I love about FanDuel. You're not waiting for your dough. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on college hoops all tournament long. That's FanDuel.com. Coming up in this segment, we'll also get into what do you guys have to say. We'll go to the chat and see what you guys have to say about this one. But before we go any further,
this is what you'll be talking about.
If there's one takeaway from this Phillies game, I think it's going to be Aaron Nola. They get to him again. The only other thing that I think people would be talking about other than Aaron Nola, 4th inning, middle innings, they get to him, whatever. I mean, the Phillies didn't strike out a ton in this game. They had their opportunities. I think if you're going to be talking about them going 0 for 9 in this loss, I think you're going to be talking about them in the 7th inning coming up small. I think you're going to be talking about them in the 9th inning in particular where they had the most chances and they came up small. from jump, the Phillies came out and aggressive. I said earlier that seemed to be their obvious game plan going into it. If you break it down and go through the first inning, for instance, go through the first inning. Kyle Schwarber, first pitch. What happens? He gets a single. How about that? Kyle Schwarber. And he stayed on base this time. Alec Boehm came up, 2 pitches, lines out to center field. Bryce Harper comes up there. He actually has a 6-pitch at bat. He took a couple of pitches there. That was good to see, but they get it up to 18 pitches in that first inning for Mitchell Parker. But they came out swinging. Later in the game, Harper was a little bit more aggressive. His next at bat, jumps on the first pitch slider, gets a single out of it. Again, wanting to be aggressive. Phillies have an opportunity there in that third inning for a little 2-out lightning after, again, Alec Boehm flies out to center field for the second out of the inning. Then Harper gets that single. Castellanos works the walk, and Bryson Stott, unfortunately, couldn't hold up. I thought he did on a check swing. Umpire, by the way, Carlos Torres behind the plate. I'm not saying I'm saying this very much in general and not blaming him for the Phillies' poor performance today, but he was terrible, especially in the first 3 innings. 1 strike was a strike then, and it was a ball the next inning, and Brandon Marsh had a weird at bat where I don't know where Carlos Torres the strike zone was. Just highlighting it, not complaining, just saying it was terrible. But anyway, for both teams. But in that second inning, the Phillies had an opportunity. They got two runners on, and Rafael Marchan ended up grounding into the 5-4-3 double play. Then again, they got another 2 runners on in that third inning that I was mentioning earlier. After Schwarber and Boehm went down, Harper came up. Castellanos, Stott grounded out to second base, and that was that. Opportunities early, and the Phillies just couldn't cash in. Edmundo Sosa, 4th inning, gets that bunt, has the swinging bunt down the third base line, and then you have Marsh go down swinging, chasing a slider. Rojas goes up there, grounds out to second. Sosa takes third. Rafael Marchan steps up and hits a flare that I thought would drop, jumping on a first pitch. It does not. And again, they couldn't get runs across the plate in the 4th inning. The bottom of the 4th inning is when Nola gotten 2. Let's get into it here when we talk about our chat check here on the program. John Crux Twitter feed. What's up, Farzy? Missed the Sixers, but I'm here for the Phillies. Awesome. First game of the year looked like the 2024 Phillies with all the strikeouts, but yesterday was nice with the bat management. Rojas looks good. I think Rojas looks all right too. I'm fine with more Rojas. And how about this? Marsh got another hit today off a lefty. Well, yeah, you got it off of Mitchell Parker. How about that, huh? Johnson Wall, hello. Nola and that darn home run ball. I was hoping he'd find a way to get over that this season. Just continues to haunt him, unfortunately. I issued a warning before this season with Aaron Nola, and the warning is Aaron Nola is due for a year where has an ERA in the 4s. For about the last 4 or 5 seasons, it has gone 3-4-3-4-3. You follow the pattern. Back in the 4s, unfortunately. Jeremy, what's up, man? Well, that's 3 hours I'm not getting back. I had the same thought. Up until they had the double play there to end it in the 9th. I was like, this game has kind of sucked. Oh, maybe. Nope, just a tease. Evelyn, what's up, Evelyn? Hi, Farzy. Here we go. Runners in scoring position. Oh, insert groan. Sometimes when I look at it quickly, my mind plays tricks. Insert groan here. Thank you, Evelyn. Well, at least we started the season with 2 wins. There you go. That's the attitude. I agree. Pat Ryan, same thing. At least they didn't get shut out. Laugh out loud, right? Pat Ryan, they're being too selective at the plate again. Can't just hunt fastballs this year. I hope so. Yeah, Yankees are on fire to start the year. It's insane. Richard Hess, hello. What a treat. Gopher ball Nola. Mid-season form. 5 innings, 2 home run balls. Well, he ended up giving you, 5 1/3? I think he finished with tonight. Hold on, I didn't even show the box score today. I didn't even want to look at it. 5 1/3, 5 runs, 6 hits. Womp, womp. 8 Ks. Those 8 Ks, he looks so damn good. As for the actual full box score with the batters on it and all that type jazz, there it is right there. Schwarber 1 hit. Harper, Casty, Sosa. Castellanos looked good to me today. He missed a couple as well. Just missed a couple. Even can work that walk. Rojas got that hit. I mentioned Sosa got the 2 hits. 2 strikeouts as well. Wah, wah. All right, let's get back to the chat check here. Elephant in the room, how'd Rojas look? I thought he looked all right. What were you watching? What are you watching? I'm watching Rojas and the Phillies not be great. It's an odd year. Nola will have a 4+ yet. Oh, I see what you're doing there. Odds and evens. There you go. Ever notice that? I never associated it with being an odd year, but yeah, I guess that would make sense with the same fluctuation, right? I guess that would make sense. Phillies will have their home opener tomorrow, right back at it when they drive up 95 right here in Philadelphia for a 3:05 start time. Christopher Sanchez gets the ball. Look forward to him starting against the Colorado Rockies. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Again, you got Connor Thomas taking you through with the Locked On Phillies Daily Podcast. And you got me, Mark Farzetta, for your Locked On Phillies Postcasts after each and every game right here on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. See you guys tomorrow after the home opener. See you guys then. Bye.